morning. Today we're looking at the AR-15 style rifles. This one is mine. It is one of my last personally owned patrol rifles, and this was the configuration it was in before we switched over to issue guns. This is a basic video, so if you're fairly experienced with AR-15s, you may not want to watch this one. I'm just going to go over a little bit of the functionality of it. Won't be shooting it today, but I will get it to the range at some point. Collapsing stock, or actually adjustable stock. It is fitted with an optic along with flip up iron sights, and I'll bring the camera in to take a little bit closer look when we go over the function of it. Rifle is unloaded. No magazine inside. There is a light attached to it. It's a 16-inch barrel with a step barrel, Midwest Industries handguard, and that is about it. It's about as basic. I didn't want to put a whole lot of stuff on here when I was carrying it. It can be fed from detachable box magazine. This is a 30-round mag pull, and you can get variations in 5, 10, 20, 30s, 40s, and even drums. Which drums I've never shot. I don't know enough about them that I ever wanted to try one. So what I'll do is bring it in closer and we'll go over how these things function. Okay, so a close-up view. You see on this side, right there, that's your safety lever is on this side, but you've got an indicator here. We are currently on safe. So if you've just gotten one of these and you're at the range, you want to fire for the first time, check, and you have empty chamber. That's your charging handle. That's what's going to feed from the magazine into the chamber. Look here, if you hold that charging handle back, this paddle is your release. That holds your charging handle open so that you've got an open chamber where you can put your magazine in, and if you hit this, paddle on the side, hear that? That's your chamber closing. A couple of ways you can do this. I can do this from the left side. You can either use the thumb, close the chamber, or you can use the palm of the hand. Just want to make sure that you hit that rather than hitting up here and keeping the chamber open. This dust cover, when you close it, it will stay closed until you charge the handle. On your safety switch, you can see that currently on safe. Flips down to fire. Safe, fire, safe, fire. You're on safe, hit your paddle, round is chambered, flip, gun goes off. And also, if you'll listen, you'll hear the trigger reset. Alright, you hear that audible click? That is the reset for the trigger. And it's going to reduce that travel distance of the trigger as if gun chambers, if you let it all the way out, not a lot of distance on that trigger, but using the reset, you get just a little less. So then back on safe. stock adjusts, I believe, 6 positions on this one. So you can determine what length of pull you like by adjusting that in or out. Best thing is when you're adjusting that, it's going to be to where you have good sight picture, good sight alignment. Speaking of sights, you have a set of flip-ups. The optic is holosun. It is solar powered along with battery. But if that was to fail or break, get damaged, whatever the case may be, you can go back to your irons. So always double check. If you're shooting with irons and an optic, just make sure you confirm both from time to time. The light on this particular gun is an inforce. The button is integrated into the body there, so you don't have a pressure switch or anything, which I like. There is a little drawback to it, because if you're using, I'm a right-hand shooter, it works fairly well right-handed. But if I transition to left, I've got to reach my thumb all the way around there to get that. So not totally unusable, it's just a little awkward. Whereas guys who run a pressure switch up top or maybe on the side of the handguard, they've got easier access to that. And speaking of the handguard, this is a Midwest Industries. It's got pick rails on top and bottom, and then you can add rails along the side if you need to. And really, these are probably unnecessary because I don't mount anything to this side. There is a bit of a short front grip, which I like it, you know, either way, with or without. But there back in the day, I just figured I would try one of these. As for slings, I've got a couple of swivels here, one on the back, and then one here. These are quick detachable. There's another swivel mounting option under the light. So if you weren't running the light, or if you ran it further back, or if you ran it on the other side, you've got another position for your sling swivel. And then on the back, you've got about 3 different areas that you could put your sling swivel. Or you could wrap one around the stock itself. So that is it, and just kind of a quick little rundown on the operation of this particular AR-15. A lot of them are similar, but your options seem almost limitless these days of how you want to build it. One thing, this charging handle is angled, so you can charge from either side, whereas a mil-spec, the old mil-specs at least, I don't know what the new ones look like, it was just one side. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. I hope it was helpful. And like I said, it is basic, and if you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up, and we'd love to have you as a subscriber. One more thing. This is the forward assist. If you had a round that wouldn't go into battery, you can hit this, and what it'll do, if you can see in the focus here, these little notches, it will start to push that in and put it into battery. I've never had to use it. I'm sure someone has, and there's been a lot of rounds to this gun, but that feature is there. It was put on back with the M16, probably the A1. Don't quote me on that, don't hold me to that, but At some point, the military added it so that they could drive those rounds into battery if they weren't going in. Anyway, thanks again for watching.